Hello, BookTube, and greetings from a dark, rainy, freezing cold morning here in Boston on Thursday, one day out from June. Sorry about the backlighting. It's so dim in here that the any amount of light from the window is overpowering the camera, and I can't quite find a way to normalize things. But I've got a small mail haul here. I thought since quite a few of you have said that you don't mind smaller videos, this is the first mail batch of the day. I thought we'd just go through it together rather than sit and wait for the next one. Especially since we kind of need a recovery from that last mail haul, or at least I do. So let's look at this thing and see if it has anything immensely more squeal-worthy than... okay. Now, Bean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to jump down? You are. There you go. Okay, well, this is at least a historian whose work I've read and liked. And this is Orlando Figes, and it is The Europeans, 3 Lives and the Making of a Cosmopolitan Culture. Look at that spine. That's kind of neat. 19th century in Europe was a time of unprecedented artistic achievement. I agree completely. It was also the first age of cultural globalization, an epoch when mass communication and high-speed rail travel brought Europe together, overcoming the barriers of nationalism and facilitating the development of a truly European canon of artistic, musical, and literary works. By 1900, the same books were being read across the continent, the same paintings reproduced, the same music played in homes and heard in concert halls, the same operas performed in all major theaters. Drawing from a wealth of documents, letters, and other archival materials, acclaimed historian Orlando Figes examines the interplay of money and art that made this unification possible. At the center of the book is a poignant love triangle: the Russian writer Turgenev, the Spanish prima donna Pauline Viardot, with whom Turgenev had a long and intimate relationship, and her husband Louis Viardot, an art critic, theater manager, and Republican activist. Together they acted as a kind of European cultural exchange. They either knew or crossed paths with Delacroix, Berlioz, Chopin, Brahms, Liszt, the Schumanns, Hugo, Flaubert, Dickens, Dostoevsky, and many other towering figures. Oh, so he has found a kind of cultural Rosetta Stone of people, a biological Rosetta Stone to branch out into all these other lives. Fantastic. Okay, well, this comes out in October, so it's a ways away. It does interest me, but it certainly interests me more than anything I got yesterday. but I am still going to wait on it. I will still wait on it, probably until I get the finished copy. But that's great. That sounds really interesting. So let's move on here. What is this next one? Oh, from the great people at Basic Books. This comes out in September, so this is the end of the summer as well. This is by Roel Sterkix, and it is the Ways of Heaven, an introduction to Chinese thought. China has emerged as a political and economic powerhouse, but many of us know shockingly little about Chinese culture and ways of thinking. In contrast to Western philosophy's focus on the purpose of life, China's greatest minds have emphasized human-centered issues on how to act and how to organize society. They sought concrete answers to questions like what makes a person moral, what type of person is fit to lead, how can we create order in society, and how can the past inform the present. I should point out that Western philosophy has exclusively concentrated on those things, so there is no East-West divide here. In this book, the author, whose name I'm not going to attempt again, offers a rich overview of classical Chinese ideas and philosophy and explores their enduring influence on China today. Okay, fantastic. So an overview of Chinese culture and thought. Fantastic. Okay, great. So this, once again, would also have been a highlight yesterday. so we're 2 for 2. Let's go on to the third one. See, we've only got 4 packages here, so let's see if the fourth one can keep things going. What is this next one? Okay, well, this is much closer to us. This comes out in July. I don't know this at all. It's by Tom Chatfield, and it's called The Gomorrah Gambit. It's no secret that we're already living in the future that the technology of the past 20 years has promised us. But the wonders and opportunities of the internet so easily dovetail into the secrets, ambiguities, threats, and dangers that lurk just a few keystrokes away, as BBC future column and tech philosopher and writer Chatfield so expertly demonstrated in his propulsive new digital conspiracy thriller. Oh, so this is a novel. He's a futurist writer, but this is a thriller. Ozzy Bello is an amiable outsider with a genius for hacking. Having spent the better part of his life holed up in a shed in his backyard, sounds like a hacker, Ozzy has become increasingly enmeshed in the dark side of the internet. When the divide between online and offline worlds starts to vanish, so too is the line between those transforming civilization through technology and those trying to bring it to its knees. Dark networks rule. Someone with the right connections can access anything imaginable, and power is theirs for the taking, although even they can't know what kind of bargain they've struck. Tipped off by a secretive young woman named Munira, Ozzy sets out to unravel the mysterious online marketplace known as Gomorrah, sacrificing his carefully constructed privacy in the process. As pressure mounts, Ozzy has no choice but to take on the ultimate infiltration. In an age when identities can be switched at will and nobody is who they seem, how far will he go to end the nightmare? All right, so it's a technological thriller. I like them. I like them a lot. All right, good. Oh, this is turning out very good. Okay, so we've got one more to do here. Let's see if we can keep it up. We'll see if... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Well, this last one isn't a normal thing. It's okay. Okay. Well, this last one is a Kirkus book. Those of you who are new to the channel, I review quite a few books for Kirkus Reviews for their indie branch, and so I don't like to show their books or talk about them because. My reviews are anonymous, so it doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem fair to the author for me to be sounding off on their book when... Okay, and that's too bad, because this is an indie title that is not like the things I usually get. This is... Okay, well, I want to tell you about this thing. That's like my rules are made to be broken, right? This is not anything like what I usually get. This looks really interesting. This is I will review this for Kirkus, and my review will be anonymous, but you'll know at least that this one is mine. And this looks fascinating. This is by Irv Broughton, and it's called Where the Wings Grow: Conversations with Pioneering Woman Pilots. In-depth interviews with 29 women who have shaped women's aviation history. And there's really no such thing as women's aviation history. These people have shaped aviation history. As one of the most comprehensive books on the subject, and I'll say it's fairly hefty, it encapsulates the bravery and travails of these groundbreaking females. Females is an adjective, okay? Unless you're in the cow breeding business, they're women. A testimony to individual and collective persistence and brilliance, including interviews with commercial, military, civilian, bush, barnstorming, aerobatic flyers, among others. One of the earliest dates back to Dorothy Hester Stenzel, who was a record setter in 1926. Good Lord. It was Amelia Earhart who said of Dorothy, "That girl can fly." Okay, and this is just interviews. This is interviews with these women. Okay, well, this is by Irv Broughton, and his outfit is Open Look Books. But don't you think this is interesting? Just in a general sense, this is the kind of thing that I always talk about with indie publishing. That this is an important book. No one else has assembled this many of these women and had direct interviews with them. These are primary sources that anyone writing about this subject in the future is going to have to consult this book, or if they don't know about it because it's self-published, their book will be that much the lesser for it. And this is the thing that I always talk about with self-published books, is that we don't know which ones are out there that are important. There's a flood of them, more every day. Wow. Okay. Well, great. All right. That's a little unusual. So we have history of philosophy. We have a thriller, and we have a self-published book that is the sort of thing that I would want, even if I weren't tasked with reviewing it. Great, fantastic. So we have, don't get used to it though, because I usually don't show Kirkus books on this channel. This one looks incredibly interesting. So we have Where the Wings Grow, about women aviation pioneers. Fantastic. Big, thick thing too. And all interviews. So it's not spin. It's these ladies talking about the troubles they had to go through, the dangers, the discrimination. Then we have the Gomorrah Gambit by Tom Chatfield. He is a future technologies writer, and he's doing a thriller here, so we'll see if his dialogue is any good. Then Ways of Heaven, about Chinese philosophical history. And the next big book from Orlando Feigs. This is The Europeans, and it takes as its focal point, a small nexus of people who can then branch out to all of the big figures of the time. That is a really good approach. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, great. Well, there you go. So that is our first mail haul of the day. We'll see what else we get today, but that's it for now. But I'll be back. I have plenty of other bookish stuff to talk to you about. Thank you, BookTube.